Because the more of us who play, the better golf is for all of us.
Yeah,
Nice
great putt. Great putt.
Nice job. There you go.
A hacker doesn't always look like a hacker. A hacker's at home, everywhere. A hacker comes in many forms.
He's interested in everything.
He can work alone. But with a crew, so much better. A hacker is free.
With Cisco, protecting your business from cyber attackers is simple. If it's connected, you're protected. At Cisco, our purpose is to power an inclusive future for all. And in that future, Mother Nature has a voice.
How have things been at work?
It's Groundhog Day. You know, just always the builder, never the architect. But the thing is I've got ideas. Big ideas about better products, new revenue streams, smarter investments, but the thing is I can't focus on any of that because here I am too busy like playing whack-a-mole all day.
It's a lot of metaphors today.
Thank you.
So it sounds like you need a platform that drastically reduces the amount of confusion caused by zillions of analytics tools and focuses the data for you.
Something that allows me to spend time thinking big picture.
Something that would reduce the amount of app system errors, pinpoint areas of improvement, and proactively suggest fixes.
Exactly. Why do you know that?
Don't know.
It's a new day for the new era. AI is everywhere. So are we. We have the infrastructure AI needs. And now, the breadth of data AI craves. We'll use AI to help the world see more, do more, and we'll secure it like never before. You've all heard the AI hype. Now you want AI's help. That's exactly what we'll give you. Cisco, making AI work for you.
Where will you be in 5 years? Where will we be in 5 years? In 25? In 50? Let's be here and here, with her and him and they. Let's connect them. Let's connect everyone. Let's deliver technology that gives them access. to power opportunity. Let's set a new standard for data security and personal privacy. Let's change the system. Promote equality and fairness in the workplace. Let's tear down the barriers to social justice for a more inclusive world. Let's clean house, zero carbon, zero waste. Because the health of our family is tied to the future of our home. Let's gather resources and partners, steer toward our greatest challenges and accelerate. For the benefit, for all. Cisco has made it its purpose to power an inclusive future for all. Where will we be in 50 years? Let's go see. Cisco, the bridge to possible.
Humans and nature. We're in this together. But to keep coexisting, we need to do more to protect our planet. Cisco Smart Building Solutions and our partners' technology can benefit both humans and nature, helping us make the best use of space and optimize energy consumption for the changing way we work. Making connections that deliver power and enable automation, creating efficiencies that can help the workplace and the planet, and freeing teams to work from anywhere while creating engaging experiences thanks to AI-driven collaboration tools. Sustainability initiatives are part of powering an inclusive future for all. With Cisco Smart Building Solutions, we believe all businesses can better optimize their energy use. Between meeting human needs and a sustainable future, there's a bridge. Cisco, the bridge to possible. At Cisco, we believe inclusion isn't just the right thing to do, it's the innovative thing to do. Because every invention, every improvement, every achievement, every small step and giant leap inside our company and in the history of the world started when a different perspective was invited, a different voice was elevated, a different opinion was accepted. To us, inclusion is progress. And it's why we're reimagining how people come together. Changing the system. Tearing down barriers. Respecting and honoring each other's identities. Promoting equality and fairness. Using technology to create more opportunities. And powering a more inclusive future for each other. For good. For all.
Control, acelera y freno en segundo. Control, porque a la hora la manejo yo. Con control. Bailemos lento, pero pegado. Todo va muy rápido, voy a parar el tiempo. Se posa los minutos cuando yo meneo este cuerpo. Me quedo parada a ver qué es lo que de... No hay tiempo, ni dimensión, y lo único que escucho es el ritmo de la canción. Ni segundo ni minuto. Acelera y freno en seco.
A cyber attack can grind everything to a halt. Cisco Security keeps your network and your company moving forward. Because if it's connected, it's protected. Cisco.
What do you think here, Cam? 7?
It needs to carry 150, right?
Yeah.
Should be perfect.
Cisco's purpose is to power an inclusive future for all. That's why we're working with the APJA and the USGA to make golf more inclusive.
Shot.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're teeing up tomorrow because the more of us who play, the better golf is for all of us.
Yeah,
Nice
great putt. Great putt.
Nice job. Way to go.
A hacker doesn't always look like a hacker. A hacker's at home, everywhere. A hacker comes in many forms.
He's interested in everything.
He can work alone. But with a crew, so much better. A hacker is free.
With Cisco, protecting your business from cyber attackers is simple. If it's connected, you're protected. At Cisco, our purpose is to power an inclusive future for all. And in that future, Mother Nature has a voice.
How have things been at work?
It's Groundhog Day. You know, just always the builder, never the architect. And the thing is I've got ideas. Big ideas about better products, new revenue streams, smarter investments, but the thing is I can't focus on any of that because here I am too busy like playing whack-a-mole all day.
It's a lot of metaphors today.
Thank you.
So it sounds like you need a platform that drastically reduces the amount of confusion caused by zillions of analytics tools and focuses the data for you.
Something that allows me to spend time thinking big picture.
Something that would reduce the amount of app system errors, pinpoint areas of improvement, and proactively suggest fixes.
Exactly. Why do you know that?
Don't know.
It's a new day for the new era. AI is everywhere. So are we. We have the infrastructure AI needs. And now, the breadth of data AI craves. We'll use AI to help the world see more, do more, and we'll secure it like never before. You've all heard the AI hype. Now you want AI's help. That's exactly what we'll give you. Cisco, making AI work.
Welcome to Cisco Live Melbourne 2024. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which we meet today, the Wurundjeri people of the Eastern Kulin Nation. I would like to pay my respects to both past elders and present, and I would like to extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. I would like to acknowledge and respect their connection to the land, sea, and community. My name is Emerald Williamson. I'm an account manager here at Cisco. I'm based out of Sydney, but for today, I will be one of your 3 Cisco Live hosts. It is so exciting for me to be here in Melbourne, seeing all of the atmosphere that we have in the WAS, but the thing I'm most excited about is the fact that I get to spend 2 days with 2 of my favourite Cisconians, Dave and Shika. Dave, do you want to say hello?
Hello, Em, thank you. How good is this? The atmosphere here is absolutely incredible. There is people piling in to see the keynote. It's quite remarkable. So, yes, it's a pleasure to be back here. My name is Dave Wood. I'm an account manager here at Cisco, and this is my second time behind the Cisco Live co-hosting desk. And it's the best part of the best event in Cisco to be a part of. I know, speaking to my customers, they can't wait to dive in and get involved and go beyond to explore the possibilities at this Cisco Live. But this trio wouldn't be complete without the one and only Shika.
Hello.
Shika, welcome.
Hey everyone, thank you Dave and Emerald. Hi everyone, I'm Shika Yadav, one of the collaboration customer success managers here in ANZ, and it is so good to be back with my amazing hosts Dave and Emerald. So this year's theme, as Dave slightly pointed, is Go Beyond, and what it means for Cisco is that we help our customers and partners go beyond what is part of a very big movement, especially with AI these days. So quickly, what does it mean for you guys? Dave, M, what does Go Beyond mean to you?
Yeah, look, I think for me it is just that, to go beyond and explore those possibilities. Don't be afraid to push past your barriers and explore what's out there. But what about Go Beyond to you, Em?
I think this year is the year that actually really resonates with me, and I know we say that about previous ones, but I have a personal connection to this thing, Go Beyond, and then also one for work. So personally, it's to do something like this. Like, I'm an account manager, I spend a lot of my time talking technology to my customers, but the fact that I get to spend 2 days out on the floor being a Cisco Live host is incredible, and it really challenges and pushes me. And for my customers, we spend a lot of time previously talking about the network, what we're doing for the infrastructure, but our conversations are changing now that we've looked at Meraki and Catalyst, and we're going beyond that into, what's next for data center, what's next for security, what are they doing around AI, and I think, a forum like this is a really good opportunity to do so.
I think no matter the size, I think of our customers, we're really seeing them challenge themselves to think bigger, think greater than what they are now. It's quite amazing.
Exactly. And with the new generation of AI, it's like, as you said, mentioned, security around AI is another important topic for our customers, and everyone back home as well. This year you'll be seeing AI as a theme that is kind of spread across Cisco Live, and you'll see what enhancements Cisco has come up with this year.
Yeah, actually talking about what we'll be seeing today. So what should we be expecting from Cisco Live this year?
Oh, there's so much to expect. But definitely, as I said, again, AI. So there would be definitely a lot of talk around AI and sustainability. Again, we're quite big on sustainability at Cisco Live. We have our recycled T-shirts, which we save 40,000 plus plastic bottles, and even here, every coffee cup and coffee mug is recyclable or reusable. And the message resonates a lot with our customers as well, because using Cisco technology, they're actually able to achieve their net zero goals, and Cisco is assisting them front, right, and center. So
yeah, and for those that are joining here, in person, we've got keynotes. We've got one that's coming up soon.
Yeah.
But we've also got some of our deep dive technology sessions.
Yes, that's something new as well. The deep dive of keynotes is something new this year that has been added, and what it means for everyone back watching us is you're going a bit deeper into whatever is mentioned in the keynote. So you're getting a little bit of a deep dive, bit of an expert information, inside info into whatever is going to be mentioned at the keynote. So that's something exciting.
Take you even deeper again. Don't forget we have the studio interviews back this year as well. So I know you've got the everyone sticks around. We've got the classic favourites of Dave West and Jackie G on stage, but also with some of the Splunk people being a part of the interviews this year. I know you've got a couple of the Splunk people interviewing as well, which is exciting.
Yeah, actually, we'll talk about the interviews next, but I think that's a really important thing of, what's new at Cisco. But for those that are here, we actually had the opportunity to walk around the world of solutions for a little bit. It was a bit cheeky. We were in there before it opened. So let's have a look at what we got up to.
Welcome to Cisco Live Melbourne!
That was so fun. What did you think about that, Dave?
That was a lot of fun, a lot of energy in there, and I think a little bit of competition, a couple of those arcade games. I think that
yeah, it brought out my competitive side for sure. I think of watching back.
I think I lost to probably both of you in all the games, so I don't remember that. So
I think the bowling ball almost saw the back of that screen, but that's all right. I think it was really good to get hands-on with the technology, though, as well, and actually sort of interact and experience it firsthand ourselves. It was very exciting.
And I think there's lots of new spaces that are in the world of solutions that wasn't there before. And, Dave, I think we were talking about what's new previously at Cisco Live this year, and, the joy of being able to do it a couple of times is you get to see the changes in, the strategy that we're going, the changes that customers are looking forward, and how we can actually really roadmap that out. So what are some of the new changes?
Yeah, so some of the new changes was that we said we have the deep dive sessions, which is a bit which is different this year. So allowing you to listen to the keynote and actually pinpoint a couple of messages that you're hearing from that, to then go and take the information and learn deeper and get a better understanding.
Yeah, and then there were a lot of new booths this year. So obviously we have the AI Hub, which is something new from last year. We didn't have that, and actually there you can check the readiness of your organization, how much your organization is kind of on their AI journey. So they get to check, fill in a few details and see how ready they are for AI. So I think that was really cool. And in the AI Hub, you can see all Cisco technologies supporting artificial intelligence, obviously with security, collaboration, and Thousand Eyes. And I think people who are here, and if you're listening in, you should definitely go visit that. We also have the Cisco Spaces booth, and for the first time ever in Cisco Live, we have wayfinding. So we saw you in the video trying to find your way around that. But yeah, that's the first Cisco Live where we have wayfinding with Cisco Spaces. I think that's something really cool as well.
Yeah, I think we'd be amiss to mention that we actually have two new hosts joining us as well in the world of solutions. So later on, we'll see Karen and Mark walk through the world of solutions and talk to a couple of our key engineers. So hopefully we'll get to see some of those AI Hub and then the Spaces technology on the broadcast as well.
I think you'll see a lot of that throughout the next couple of days as well. The World of Solutions tours. But don't forget, everyone, viewers at home, please, everyone tuning in, hashtag Cisco Live APJC. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your questions, feelings. Let us know how we're doing. You want to see more of us, less of us. We want to hear from you. Cisco Live APJC.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
and it's being streamed in 7 languages using, again, our AI technologies. So, yes, tune in, join in the conversation at hashtag Cisco Live APJC.
So we're only a couple of minutes away from the keynote, and before we get there, I do love games, so I want to play a little game.
Again.
A little game with you guys. So I would love to hear, we should do like a keynote prediction. I would love to hear what you think. Dave would be talking about, he's got his stellar team talking around our range of technology as well. So how about we do one keynote prediction each. If it doesn't happen, then I think that person has to buy us dinner.
Okay, that could...
I like it.
I think I'm going to stick to my buzzword AI again. But yeah, definitely a lot of enhancements, because obviously we announced AI in our security platform in our collaboration at last year's Cisco Live. And I want to see what enhancements there have been and how it has been integrating with, again, like our partner Splunk or Thousand Eyes. So that would be exciting to see what is new with AI.
Great, and it's a great segue there. I think my prediction is going to be Splunk will be mentioned this year. I think the announcement was taking place a little bit last year. Now it's actually, they're fully integrated into our technology. So I think we're going to see a lot more from the Splunk integration from the observability and the security standpoint. And from the observability side with the partnership of App Dynamics, and you'll see a bit more from how that all works in the World of Solutions a bit later on as well. And then the security standpoint with the XDR integration as well, and how that's helping the SOC analysts out there.
Yeah, no, I think those are really safe options there. And
what do you think?
Oh, yeah. So I had two that I was tossing up on. One, I was hoping that there was at least 10 Australian slang terms somewhere in there from Dave.
10 is a bit pushing it, but sure.
But I think, what I would really like to see, and I hope is part of my prediction, is a lot of content around APJC. I would love to see what, the broader Cisco is thinking for our region. Last year they said it was a region full of growth. I would like to see from a year from now where they feel that the opportunity is, where can we actually extend, and how we differ from the US and the European market as well. So I think that's where I'd like it to be, and if not, I'm sure throughout the entire 2 days of our broadcast we can dig deep into those particular topics.
I think we've nailed those predictions, by the way.
Yeah, I think we just went safe, because we know all these three things are getting mentioned. So
okay, so then the bonuses of Dave West says at least 10 Australian words.
Okay, that could be one. That could be one.
Space.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, so to summarize, our predictions are
AI,
Splunk,
and I'm going to say APJC growth in particular. Yeah. So if you've got any particular predictions, we'd love to hear from them as well. So as Dave said, please use the hashtag Cisco Live APJC. We're coming up to the keynote soon, so we use this opportunity. Make sure you have your coffee if it's the morning for you. Make sure it's a glass of water. Get absolutely rugged up. Get your notebook and your paper out, because I think this is going to be something really interesting.
And get hyped. Stick around, tune in, and as I said, get involved on the socials as well.
So in saying that, make sure let's go beyond, and let's go beyond to the keynote.
Biladunyan wangat naranik mandi. Waranjeri willamik, waranjeri balakut. Mundanai bikut, bikdui banyibik mernmut bik. Wuruwuru bik ba darangok bik ba bunjalal willamu. My name's Mandy Nicholson. I'm a traditional custodian of Naarm of Melbourne. And you are most welcome to all the different layers of Wurundjeri country, below country, on country, water country, wind country, sky country, and star country. Wamanjika Kirapik. Welcome, my friends.
Please welcome to the stage Cisco's President, Asia Pacific, Japan and Greater China, Dave West.
How good is this? Welcome to Cisco Live. Welcome to all of you in the room, and welcome to our guests online. We are thrilled to have you with us today. Now, we have a brilliant week planned for you. Lots of insights, lots of innovation, and some fun all along the way. So, we think it's a new day for Cisco. And it's probably a new day for many of you, because we are revolutionizing the way you connect and protect every aspect of your organization in the AI era. Now, we firmly believe to be a great networking company, you've got to be a great security company. To be a great security company, you have to be a great AI company. And to be a great AI company, you have to be a great data company. Cisco has all of this. And we're ready to help you innovate, compete, and make amazing things happen for your customers, your workforce, and your business. We're going to talk about all of this today. First, let me say a big thank you to all of you, our customers and our partners. Thank you for choosing Cisco. Thank you for the relationship you have with us. We are absolutely committed to your success. Now, as we go through today, you're going to hear a lot about AI this week. So I thought I'd get you warmed up and thinking about what's possible in an AI-powered day. You wake up, like most of you and like me, the first thing I do is I have a cup of coffee. But just not any coffee. This one's made by a machine that learns and perfects the coffee recipe just for you and constantly learns from baristas around the globe. After a few cups, it may be time for the AI loo. Yes, the AI loo, where the toilet seat scans and tracks your daily output for health analysis. Next, you wash your hands and grab your AI toothbrush. It connects to an app on a phone that tells how to improve your brushing techniques. Now you're getting ready in front of the mirror. It's checking your mood and expressions, and it's suggesting well-being support, like guided meditation, self-affirmations, or light therapy that's coming from the mirror's edge. It's also recommending an outfit that looks great on you. You're now at work, and your AI assistant is helping you prep for the day, giving you important information about your meetings. It's lunchtime, and you go off to your favorite takeaway to get a hamburger, and the robot is out back, flipping burgers at 300 patties an hour. Work's over, and you and a colleague head to the pub and enjoy a data-crafted beer. You're home now, and if you're a parent, you put your little one in a hands-free, self-driving stroller, and it's off to the park. When you get home, you tuck them into bed, and you read an AI-generated storybook. Actually, a Cisco employee just published one on Amazon.com. Book's called Hank Can Swim. Now, it only has 1 rating, and it's 5 stars, but the future looks bright, Rodney Hamill. Keep publishing. It does. We're living in a constantly evolving world. Technology is defining and influencing every aspect of our lives, how we work, play, and learn. Think about the potential for the next wave in Asia Pacific. 60% of the world's population live, work, and play right here in this region. We have huge diversity in terms of countries, from developed to emerging markets, global economic leaders, China, Japan, India, powerhouses on the stage like Indonesia, digitally competitive nations like Singapore, South Korea, Hong Kong, and Thailand, and Australia, known on the global stage as an early tech adopter. Asia Pacific and the world over is more connected and distributed than ever before. Technology is moving faster, and it's changing what you need from us. We spend a lot of time talking and listening to you, our customers. And I can tell you, your priorities are what drives Cisco's strategy. When you think about it, and as we listen to you, you are what's changing what we focus on. And you've been incredibly clear on what's most important right now. You want to modernize your infrastructure. Cybersecurity is non-negotiable. And you're striving to understand what AI means for your business and how you get the most out of your data. AI is changing everything. And the rate of innovation is moving at breakneck speed. It took 5 years to build the first 350,000 generative AI models, and just 6 months to build the next 300,000. Machine learning has been around since the 90s, but it was mainly for anomaly detection and clustering things. Fast forward to 2022, and ChatGPT threw AI into mainstream. Now, think back to our day in the life. That's where we are right now. All available today. Who knows what's coming next? What we do know is we need to lay the foundations now and understand where we are in regards to AI readiness. Today, we are launching our second AI Readiness Index in Asia Pacific. Interesting, the APAC report found readiness has slightly declined from the previous year. Only 15% of companies are fully prepared to capture AI's full potential. Yet, 86% feel that they only have 18 months to implement an AI strategy before a significant negative business impact on them and their business. The pressure to get it right is incredibly high. Companies that didn't move fast with the internet got left behind. Companies that didn't move fast with cloud got out-innovated. AI is today's biggest transition. And at Cisco, we're not focused on the hype. We're focused on how it can help. That's why our innovation engine is working overtime for you. In this past fiscal year alone, we've made over 10 acquisitions, including Splunk, across AI, cloud native, security, and observability. We've launched AI-powered solutions and solutions that power AI. Unified Observability Experience, Cisco plus Splunk. Assurance with Thousand Eyes. Nexus Hybrid Fabric, and so much more. And you've heard about Hypershield, right? This is a groundbreaking AI-native approach to highly distributed security. It brings the power of hyperscaler security and connectivity to the enterprise. Hypershield is not the next generation of something that already exists. It's the first generation of something new. We've also just announced at Partner Summit and WebEx One, AI pods, an 8-GPU server, and in collaboration, new AI innovations that transform the employee and customer experience. We are driving massive innovation at massive scale. We are committed to bringing you the best technology and to helping you create meaningful business outcomes through the use of our technology. And if you think about it, no one else does it like Cisco. We bring the power of the network with security, observability, and collaboration. This is how we can help connect and protect every aspect of your organization in the AI era. And we are reimagining what it means to be connected. For 40 years, we've been the leader in networking. We are committed to our strengths, and this won't change. But Cisco is so much more. We are connecting the network, people, places, apps, data, and things, and making sure it's all secure, end-to-end. Cisco connects 1 billion endpoints, hundreds of millions of connected devices across our Meraki, Catalyst, and IoT platforms. 270 million connected devices on Control Center, 10 times more than Aussie's population, over 100 million connected cars. The majority of the world's traffic runs on Cisco. We have visibility and telemetry to enable policy enforcement and security automation at unmatched scale. And we're connecting people every day so you can collaborate. Cisco WebEx now provides AI-enabled translation in 120 languages. It has removed over 100 billion minutes of background noise. Now that's a lot of barking dogs. On the subject of connectivity, I'm excited to share that shortly on stage, you'll be hearing significant announcements on Wi-Fi. We think you're going to like it. So when everything is connected, it must be protected. And we're reimagining what it means to be protected. IT and security issues cause downtime of $400 billion per year for the Global 2000. Our security suites observe 800 billion security events daily. We need to protect the entire organization from cyber threats and downtime. And today we're protecting it all, from cloud and data center to workloads and security across security operations. Security is a data game. The best data wins. Together, Cisco and Splunk bring even stronger capabilities. We have the most comprehensive security solution for threat prevention, detection, investigation, and response, and the observability and insights to make sure your whole organization is protected and running at full speed. So how do you connect and protect everything in the AI era? We believe you need three critical things. One, you need an AI-ready data center. Two, you need to future-proof your workplaces, transforming everywhere people work and serve customers. And three, digital resilience. You need to keep the data center, the workplace, and the entire digital footprint resilient and protected against all forms of threats. We are here to power outcomes for your organization and realize the value of the investments you make with us. And I'll tell you what, we can provide you the most value when you use our full portfolio, and it all comes together. We have an incredible lineup today. So first up, please welcome to the stage General Manager of Cisco's Security Business Group, Tom Gillis. Welcome, Dad, Tom.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks very much. Hey, everybody, I'm Tom Gillis. I am the General Manager for Security Products here at Cisco, and I'm going to talk about how Cisco can take really this remarkable change that's happening and turn it into real-world solutions that you can deploy and solve real-world problems in your environment. Now, if I look vaguely familiar, it's because I've been here before. So I was part of the founding team of a company called Ironport. Ironport was a spam filter. We had a bunch of early adopters in this region. It was acquired by Cisco in 2007. So I stayed at Cisco for 5 years after that acquisition. And I chose to return to Cisco about 2 years ago. And I want to share with you, there's two fundamental differences to the Cisco that I've returned to recently versus the Cisco that I knew back then. The first is, back then, the way Cisco approached product development, we would think about building the best possible product that we could in each domain. The best possible data center switch, the best possible branch router for the high end, the best possible branch router for the low end, the best possible firewall. And we build them each in their own category. But today, what I have found is that the market has moved. And the market has said, you know, instead of trying to give me this long set of features or functionality in each domain, we're much more interested in a platform approach, one approach that can work across all these domains. And so we've changed our organization to reflect that. So we have a single product development organization, which means that we prioritize integration first. And I think this is a really powerful dynamic. The second, and this is a little bit more subtle, but the Cisco that I've returned to is very, very focused on organic innovation and product development. So it's not about who we're going to buy. It's about building interesting, and I'm going to say startlingly great products that from the beginning are built to leverage what we're great at, which is the network infrastructure. So there are three fundamental advantages that I think we have. The first is this platform approach. Now, Cisco's product line is so broad that it really covers an end-to-end view of all of your needs around connectivity. The second is AI, and I'll talk about where we're playing in AI and what we think we can do uniquely in AI to be able to solve problems for you. And then the third is the silicon itself. Let's touch on each one of these. When we think about the breadth of Cisco's product line, a friend of mine who was a customer used to joke, he said, I love working with Cisco because it's the only company in the world where I can have a multi-vendor strategy from a single vendor, right? And back then, that was probably true. But what we're doing is we're saying we are really, really focusing on tying these pieces together in a way that you can use them seamlessly across networking, but not just networking. Just think about security. A firewall, fundamentally, that's a router. Right? It's a router with a bunch of special features that evolved to become a totally separate thing. I believe that we can integrate these functionality back into the network and do surprisingly interesting things. As we integrate this functionality in the network, the telemetry that we see is going to enable observability, both on the application side and the infrastructure side, that is really powerful. And lastly, collaboration. This is the reason that we work, having tools that allow that seamless workplace experience wherever you are, whether you're in an office or not. We tie these all together into our platform. So let's talk about what Cisco can do in AI. So I think anyone who's watching AI knows there's sort of three pillars to what makes a great AI solution. The first is the compute that processes these AI applications, things like GPUs. They are moving at phenomenal pace and, frankly, driving a revolution in the data center infrastructure. The second are the models themselves, and these two are rotating every 6 months. They just get smarter and more powerful. And then, as a programmer, I can tell you there's an irrefutable law of GIGO, garbage in, garbage out, which means your solution can be only as good as the quality of the data that you're feeding it. So the data really matters. And at Cisco, we have some very unique sources of data, which is that infrastructure and that telemetry. But I'll argue there are two more areas that are important for AI. As these chips get faster and faster and faster, we got to feed them, right? The network has to be faster still. Otherwise, it becomes the bottleneck. So the network is a key component of an AI solution. And lastly, when we think about how we secure these workloads, AI-based workloads are very, very, very different than the way we think about applications before. And so we need to create AI-native security capabilities that can understand and interpret how these applications are behaving. So what should you expect from Cisco in AI? I'm going to argue the foundation of this is AI infrastructure, an integrated stack that can harness things like GPUs, super fast networking, advanced storage, tie it all together and make it usable. The second is rethinking things like network security in a way that they can understand and interpret those AI-based applications. And the third is a little bit more subtle. It's what we call AI-native products. So you could take AI and append it on top of an existing product, and that's useful. But there was a class of product that we've been building that wasn't even possible 2 years ago. Now, Hypershield is one of these examples. The things that we're doing, you couldn't have done it without AI. And this is what we call an AI-native capability. All of these are built on a common data platform. So let me give you an example of how this actually manifests. We have released a series of AI-powered assistants, and these are not separately developed. These are all built in one framework. So the language that we use is when we support a particular product with our AI assistant, we call it a skill. And so what's in the market today is a skill for XDR, a skill for our CX, a skill for our collaboration hub, Duo, Firewall, Thousand Eyes. These are all things that customers are using right now today. And we have thousands of customers that use it. And it's really, really mind-blowingly cool. What we're announcing at the show here is that we're extending those skills to include Meraki and also SD-WAN. So here's what this means. Real-world example. You can use Cisco XDR that could say, oh, we've identified suspicious behavior on that laptop, and it passes that information through the AI assistant that can then pop up to the network administrator, the Meraki console, and say, hey, we think this is a ransomware attack. Do you want to quarantine this machine or limit the blast radius? So that's just one example of how this integrated approach to AI is going to illustrate the power of the platform approach that we have at Cisco. Now, the foundation of all this goodness is our silicon. These chips are amazing, and when you couple a complete stack from silicon to the systems, the boxes they run in, to the software that runs on them, you can create an ultra-reliable solution. I have a little running tally that I like to keep where I talk to customers and I'll ask them, what is the longest piece of running equipment from Cisco that you have in your infrastructure? How long? What's the uptime on the longest piece of gear that's been running? Anyone want to guess, like, how long some of these things have been running? Like 10 years, 12 years? The thing's been running for 12 years. Think about that. It's been running longer than my dog has been alive, right? These things are amazing. The person that booted that switch might have been wearing spandex, and it just runs and runs and runs and runs, right? So having that fully integrated solution, this is something that is unique to Cisco, and we're continuing to invest in the whole stack. So as we think about taking this technology and turning it into solutions for you, the three pillars that Dave talked about: AI-ready data centers. How can we evolve your infrastructure to take advantage and be prepared for these AI workloads? The second is the transformation of the workplace. How can we future-proof your workplace? And then how do we make sure this stuff all just works and keeps running with digital resilience? And we're going to go through, we're going to talk about each one and talk about some product areas in each one of these categories. So the first is AI-ready data centers. So every organization needs to get ready for AI. I will argue that the adoption of AI in applications is significantly faster than the last transformation we went through, which was a transformation from a private cloud and VM-based architecture to public cloud and container-based architecture. That took maybe 5 years, whereas this AI thing is moving at 2 to 3 times that speed. Every application will be an AI-based application. And so what this is going to mean for you is that you're going to have conflicting pressures that are happening with the data center. The business is going to demand, I got to have these things, I have these things now, speed and urgency very, very high. At the same time, the power these things consume, the cost of this stuff is exponential, right? So these are pulling against each other. And then at the same time, the threats that this introduces is yet another vector. All of these need to be balanced as we think about how we deal with this world of AI-powered workloads. So at Cisco, we're working on 3 things in the data center. The first thing we're thinking about is how can you modernize your existing fleet of virtual machine-based workloads, okay? How do we get them into a more modern framework? The second thing is how do we accelerate these new emerging AI-based workloads? And then the third is how do we protect these with advanced security? The net result is that we believe an integrated stack can give you agility in the data center that you need to power your business. So to talk more about that, I'm going to invite my colleague Kevin Woolenweber to come up. Kevin, come on up.
Thank you, Tom.
Hey, Kevin.
Good to see you.
You too. Thanks for coming.
Let's talk about AI-ready data centers.
Yeah. You know, Kevin, you and I have been doing this for a long time, right? And I will argue that the pace of innovation in the data center, it's like a renaissance, right? It's moving faster than we've ever seen before.
Yep. And we view this to be a decade-long set of innovations that are going to drive and transform not only how we build data centers, but how we manage and operate data centers. And so on the note you talked about earlier around really innovating and driving new technologies into the market, and one of the things that we want to talk about this week that we just recently launched is a technology that we call Nexus Hyperfabric. I mean, it sounds really cool, Hyperfabric is a great name, but what it really is a reinvention of how we want customers to think about their network fabrics. So if data center is going to be the critical component of everything that we do, we took a step back and said, how do we take, from step 0, from designing the network to how you procure the network to building, operating, and managing the network and run it through a completely different life cycle. So things like having a cloud-managed controller that manages your data center, taking away the complexities of having to drive infrastructure and servers and all the things you need to actually run a network, taking that piece away so that you can focus on what you get out of the network and not running the network itself.
It's not an incremental step here.
Yeah,
right?
it's a complete revolution.
It's a revolution. And what I think is really impressive about it is you can sit at that cloud-managed console and pick one of 6 or 5 Cisco-validated designs. You push a button, and the kit shows up in your data center, right? So it's the full life cycle from procurement to deployment to operation, all fully automated.
Absolutely. There's some really cool demos in the hub. You can actually see it live, and I think it's something that's going to transform how we think about networks for the next decade.
This model is the future, so pay careful attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's just how you build networks.
Yeah.
We have to have new building blocks and components that we're going to build networks from.
Yes.
And so 2 other things that we just recently launched, which I'm really excited about. I am a networking geek at heart. I've been doing this for the better part of 3 decades. I won't tell you exactly how long, but it's been a long time. And so what's really cool is we've just launched our next generation of switching technologies. So to me, having done this for a really long time, you think back, like 50 terabits of networking capacity feels like a lot.
Yeah. But
now we have the ability to put 50 terabits of networking capacity into a chip. We've built that into our next generation Nexus 9K switch, and we have a 51.2 terabit device with tons of 800 gig E ports.
Yeah.
And as you roll out AI networks, you're going to put multiple of these into these really large fabrics.
These AI workloads consume data in like a parallel fashion, right? So like their ability to consume data is exploding exponentially. 800 gigs of switching. I never thought we'd need that, but now we do, right?
Yep, and we're EFTing these products today. We're going to ship these early part of next year, and we're already building some of those validated designs with these technologies today.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now, talk about the servers. What are we doing there with GPUs?
So there is no AI without the network. The network's really cool. The network is a piece that I love. It's near and dear to my heart. But you also can't build AI without compute. And so one of the things that you need to build a training network, to build an advanced inference infrastructure is GPUs and lots of GPUs, and so we need to build servers that are more efficient at taking these in. And so what we recently launched here was our UCS-based 8 GPU server. And the simplest way to describe it is it takes all the things that you know and love about UCS, integrated management, things like Intersight, tie into the network itself, and we enable a lot more GPUs. So you can build massive fabrics of GPUs, but with the ease of use and operations that you've come to know and love with UCS.
So integration is the name of the game. It's a recurring theme we're going to talk about today. How do we deliver an AI solution for the customers? What's next?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
It's almost like we had this plan. So technology building blocks are great, but one of the biggest things we hear from customers is, how can you help me get started? How do I get started moving faster? Of all the things that Dave talked about earlier, the number of our customers that need to start to implement AI infrastructure in their network and they just don't know how to get started, we created this concept of AI pods. The way to think about an AI pod is take those Cisco validated designs, which are large tested configurations of the different pieces of equipment we pull together, but extend it into AI. Because AI brings things that Cisco doesn't directly offer every single component. You have to bring in partners. You have to bring in storage. Because without storage, you don't have data. Without data, you don't have AI either. Right. So bringing in all these other components, bringing in the software stacks that sit around them, working with some of our partners like NVIDIA, bringing in the NVIDIA AI, enterprise AI stack, all the pieces you need to run these models. But then we took it one step further and we said, okay, let's build different pods for different use cases and make it easy for customers to consume. So the first one is an inference use case. We have that up and running today, and we'll bring other use cases in over the next few months.
Yeah, and this is just the beginning, right? So we talked about the direction that we're going. Integration is the name of the game. One thing I'll call out on these AI pods, it includes third-party products, right? So it's not just Cisco stuff, but like delivering an integrated solution. That's where we're focusing. What do you see around the corner in the data center?
So the crazy thing is, I think you mentioned it, this market is moving faster than we've ever seen. And so, while we're delivering and deploying one technology, we're preparing the next, and we're developing the one after that. And so you're going to see a lot more rapid innovation from the networking products, from the server products. You're going to see more GPUs. You're going to see 1.6 terabit Ethernet and 100 terabit ASICs and a whole bunch of cool stuff.
It's amazing, the speeds and feeds, but like the workloads are demanding it, right? And the other thing I think we got to figure out is how do we deliver this in an integrated solution that's practical for the enterprise to operationalize?
Easy button. Make it easy for customers to deploy.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Kevin, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Tom. Really appreciate it.
Yep. So, as as we think about this transformation of the infrastructure itself to cover these AI workloads, we also have an opportunity to rethink how security is deployed. So the principle of zero trust says you have to assume that attackers are already in your network. And sadly, that's a good assumption. So if an attacker is already in, then the name of the game for security is how do we identify and stop lateral movement. Lateral movement happens by definition on the network. And here Cisco has some amazing advantages. So focusing on this movement towards integration, we've taken our firewall, we've invested very heavily in updating and modernizing our firewall family. So all new hardware, new price performance levels, new management capability, interesting features to handle encrypted traffic. And we've packaged that up into one of these suites. So the Cloud Protection Suite includes traditional next-gen firewall as well as host-based security controls. And hopefully, you can start to feel that Cisco is serious about the firewall market. One of the things that I think is a good indicator of this is industry analysts are also recognizing it. So Cisco is the only firewall company that is recognized as a leader in both firewall and network microsegmentation solution by Forrester. And so as we think about tomorrow's world and tomorrow's applications, we have an opportunity to go even further. And this is where Cisco Hypershield comes in. So David talked about this earlier. Hypershield, the idea here is that we take security out of the box that it used to come in, and we literally melt it into the fabric of the network. So it won't be a separate appliance, it's just a feature in a switch or a router. So imagine that you could take network security that used to live in that box, define it in software, and break it literally into 100,000 or 1 million little tiny pieces. Little tiny baby enforcement points that can be distributed across each of the services that make up your application. So every VM gets its own little security stack. The database, the app tier, the web tier, every Kubernetes cluster gets its own little security stack. And this architecture can work on the public cloud. It can work in the private cloud in a couple different form factors. It can live in the OS. It can live in one of these advanced chips called a DPU that runs in a Cisco UCS server or a third-party server. But I think the most interesting form factor is we're putting these advanced chips into switches and routers themselves. And so we can turn every switch port into a high-performance Layer 7 firewall. Now, in a world where we have tens of thousands or maybe million of these firewalls, you simply cannot manage them the way that we've managed them before. And here Cisco has really innovated. So we built a whole new management model, and we deliver it with this cloud console. So your security policy is defined once. The enforcement points can change over time. And as your infrastructure is evolving, you can think about appliance-based enforcement, software-based enforcement, and network-based enforcement. So we meet you where you are in this journey, but we are transforming how network security works. So we're proud to announce at the show here that the Cloud Protection Suite has been extended to include next-gen firewall, host-based security controls, Cilium, which is the cloud-native container interface and security solution, and Cisco Hypershield. So you pay one price, and you have the ability to deploy these different technologies for different classes of workload with a single management plane that ties all of this together. And really, this is just the beginning. As we think about integrating security services into the fabric of the network, all of the security services that today are a separate thing, that are managed separately, they can be difficult to manage and upgrade, we're just integrating that into the fabric of the network. This is the power of the Cisco platform. So we talked about the transformation that we see underway in the data center. There is a similar transformation happening in the workplace. So work used to be a place that you came. Now work is a thing that you do. And you do it from everywhere, right? You do it in the office, you do it in a branch, you do it at home, you do it from your car, if a hospital, on a hospital floor, in a factory floor, in a contact center. And the thing that ties all of this together is the network. So Cisco has a broad set of capabilities to provide secure campus and branch networking. We have integrated capabilities to manage your physical infrastructure, your buildings, the lights, power, et cetera. Security for the workplace is built into this infrastructure. And at the end of the day, the whole goal here is to enable seamless collaboration, whether you're face-to-face or thousands of miles away. We make all this stuff work. So to talk more about what we're doing in networking, I'd like to invite my colleague Will Etherton to the stage. Will, come on up. Tom. Good to see you, Will. Thank you.
Great. So, the workplace can't work without the network. This has always been true, but today we have new requirements. Not only do we need to connect users, but smoke alarms, fire alarms, security systems, HVAC systems, cameras, in hospitals, medical devices, and in factories, all those cool AI humanoid robots that we've been seeing. All of this now needs to be connected by the network. And while for IT, the network has always been key. Now it's key for operational technologies as well as real estate. But to do this, we need a new Wi-Fi, a Wi-Fi that is high density and has new capabilities. And so with that, today, I am thrilled to announce Cisco Wi-Fi 7 access points. I'm so proud of the work the team's done to get this out here. It is going to be orderable this week and shipping before the end of the year. And there's several key components. Wi-Fi 7 from Cisco is intelligent. Quad radios. It is secure, built in. It is assured from the beginning with Thousand Eyes, powered by Thousand Eyes.
You know, Will, when I review trouble tickets from help desks, Wi-Fi is usually the #1 cause of troubles where users can't access an application.
Yes.
And RF engineering can be complicated. The combination of Wi-Fi 7 and some of our assurance capabilities, what impact is this going to have on the user experience?
Sure. So absolutely, Wi-Fi can be a challenge. And with Wi-Fi 7, there's a number of technologies we're introducing. So one of them, example, is that we have AI radio resource management. And this is a technology that is very key, where it takes into account the environment, the physical environment, interference waves, and then will help the users, our users, configure each of the access points for the best coverage. Another one, leveraging powered by Thousand Eyes, is looking at path data. So from the user device through the access point, the switch, all the way to the wide area network. With Wi-Fi 7, the network just works.
Yeah, so it's a big step forward. Yeah.
Major step forward. Yeah. At the same time, we have heard from a few of you that Cisco licensing can be a pain in the ass. And in that context, we have some innovation here also. So to start off, we have what we call Cisco Networking Subscription. And this is quite a bit of innovation in the license area. So it's one global product ID. So within each region, the access points will intelligently download the correct settings for that region. It's also one license regardless of how you're wanting to manage your network. So access points for cloud managed, for on-prem, all of that will be the single license. And the final aspect is one product support model. So this is a flexible, cohesive model across the entire licensing portfolio. But Wi-Fi access points aren't just about hardware. They're also about being the most powerful sensor. And for more on that, let's watch this video. Awesome. If you want to learn more about Cisco Spaces, there's displays in the World of Solutions, so please drop by. There's quite a bit there. So to recap, in Wi-Fi, new licensing, assurance, Cisco Spaces, and new Wi-Fi 7 access points. These are major announcements that really transform
the workplace.
There's
a recurring theme in here I want to call out. If you listen to Kevin talk about hyperfabric, Cisco is really taking an end-to-end approach here. Some of the things you talked about, these seem like small things, but it really matters. You order a radio anywhere in the world, and it's going to configure and deploy itself, right? So that is the Cisco platform effect in motion. But it's not just Wi-Fi. What else is happening with switching?
It's great. So switching, we've been hard at work. So a big ask and a big engagement has been Meraki managed Catalyst switches. So this is something we've had with the 9300. We've been improving the management experience for that. We now have the 9200L in beta, and look forward, we're going to have more switches and more capabilities coming soon in that. At the same time, on the Catalyst Center side, we've seen really a massive adoption swing up. So we're now adding about 1 million new devices onto Catalyst Center per quarter, and we recently hit around 16 million total managed devices through Catalyst Center.
Yeah, that is awesome. How do we tie all that stuff together?
So we are always being pushed, what can we do to make it easier for customers who have multi-domain from Cisco? So one of the recent areas that we're very happy to make progress is a common policy. And so wanting to be able to tie policy relative to a device, for instance, in a campus environment, to a workload in a data center, and be able to have a policy and allow segmentation from end to end. So this is something that we're starting now, and we have with the architectures for software-defined access and ACI using ICE as a base. And stay tuned, each quarter we're going to roll out more of our architectures onto this common policy.
Yeah, that is awesome. And so I'm going to talk in a minute about what we're doing with security, but what you just talked about, this policy allows us to implement the principles of zero trust, not just for people, but for things. Right? So the printer talks to the printer app, the phone talks to the phone app, but you don't want the printer logging into a customer database. This is a solution, a problem that only Cisco, I think, can solve.
Yes. Yeah. And we're finally getting started, so we're very excited.
Awesome. Will, thank you so much. Great. Okay, great.
Thanks.
So as we think about how we can provide seamless connectivity across this distributed work environment, really the end goal is how do we make that experience for the user amazing? And so to talk about some of the things we're doing with collaboration, I'd like to invite Vanessa to join the stage. Vanessa?
Thanks, Tom. Great to join you and just a few of my friends here. Let's chat about workspace experience.
Yeah.
So we're reimagining the experience across all of your workspaces, from the smallest to the largest, and even your home offices. And we're doing that with a concept called distance zero. So removing that feeling of separation and distance when people are collaborating, but they're not in the same room. And Tom, the foundation of distance zero is our purpose-built collaboration devices. They're AI loaded, they can interrupt with other platforms, and they even have the option to run a better Microsoft Teams experience.
Vanessa, when I was at Cisco the first time, I experienced Cisco telepresence. That was more than 10 years ago. It was amazing. It was distance zero. That's what you're talking about. And now we do it in every flavor of device. You don't need a room.
So Tom, I actually got to help install the first telepresence here in Australia 18 years ago.
Yeah.
So we've come
longer than my dog has been alive, right? Yeah, it's a recurring theme.
We've come a very long way since then.
Yeah.
So our collaboration devices connect and sit alongside all of the other devices as a key part of your network. And just like your access points, your switches, and your cameras, our collaboration devices are sensors. They can sense telemetry data on room occupancy and environmental metrics, and this data can feed into Cisco Spaces to provide workspace visibility and analytics. And they also integrate with Thousand Eyes to provide IT with even greater visibility on troubleshooting. Tom, think of it as an integrated, extended network.
Yeah, it's the platform effect, it personified, it really is. And we're just getting started. So you just came from WebEx1, right?
I did.
Yeah.
And some very, very exciting announcements there.
Tell us.
Starting with our new Cisco Ceiling Microphone Pro. You can see right here. It's going to enable the best that your meeting rooms ever sound. Now, one of the greatest things about it, well, besides the fact that it is IP-based, PoE, 64 microphones
it's a
in
network
one,
device.
is it's AI configured, so super easy to set up. Now, another potentially costly and time-consuming challenge has been choosing the right devices and peripherals for an optimal experience across all the different size and shaped workspaces you have. Well, not anymore. My personal favorite, Tom, is the new Workspace Designer.
Are you going to give us a glimpse into what's happening?
Show you
There
it.
we go. Let's see a demo.
Workspace Designer has been built leveraging our decades of experience in collaboration technology and devices. And what it'll do is take the complexity out of room design with guided recommendations. Let me show you. So today you can choose between 4 different workspace types, but with many more to come. So let's create a large conference room together. Now here you can see the room dimensions. You can adjust the dimensions to match your room size. Then we describe what's inside the room. So the table that you might have, the number of seats and the different widths. Let's go with a tapered table. Now, then you choose what experience you want to have in the room. You can have the Cisco room or the Microsoft Teams experience. Let's create a Cisco room. And then the fun bit, you get to choose the device that you want in this space. So I'm going to choose our stunning EQX. Now the EQX comes with a dual screen mount. Now you may have 75-inch screens as your standard, so let's pop that in there. Now Designer has recommended for an audio of 4 table microphone pros. But we've got a beautiful table in this room, so I'm going to see if I can get away with 2. Instantly, I get a warning under tips that the microphone coverage is marginal. Now, I think some of you out there may have guessed how we might fix this. Let's change it to the new Ceiling Microphone Pro, and we only need 1 of those. And look at that, now everybody has a voice. Now, as easy as that, our room design is done. Now, I'm so excited, I want to share it with the rest of the team and HR and facilities and our partners. So I'm going to grab a blueprint. And so here you can see, you get the measurements, you get the mounting heights, a bill of materials, and some handy coverage diagrams. And you can copy the link, scan to get that link, download a PDF and share it with anyone. Now, the great thing is Workspace Designer is now available on webex.com for anyone to use. So, what do you think?
All right. Vanessa, these products are amazing, but how is this going to change the user experience?
So, you know what, Tom, we're not stopping there. So we've done many, many innovations that we announced at WebEx One, all focused on reimagining that experience for the employees as well as customer experience. So for customer experience, we announced a groundbreaking innovation for WebEx Contact Center. Meet the new AI agent.
Welcome to Cisco HR. I'm Kate, your AI agent. I can help you with questions around Cisco benefits. How can I assist you today?
Hi, Kate. Can you tell me how much I could contribute to my 401k plan?
Sure. You can contribute up to IRS limits, and Cisco matches your contributions dollar for dollar up to 4.5% of eligible pay. If you need more details or...
No, hold on. Sorry. I meant to ask about ESPP.
No problem. For the Employee Stock Purchase Plan, ESPP, you can contribute up to 10% of your pay to purchase Cisco stock at a discount.
Okay,
Purchases
got
are
it.
made twice per
Now, before I hang up,
Great.
can you help me submit a vacation time off?
Of course. First, please read out the 6-digit passcode from your Duo app for authentication.
Okay, 179154.
Great, thank you. Now, how many days of vacation are you planning to take, and what are the start and end dates?
I was looking to take about 3 days off starting next Tuesday.
Got it. So you want to take 3 days off starting from Tuesday, October 22nd, and ending on Thursday, October 24th. Is that correct?
Yeah, but before I confirm, can you let me know what the forecast will be in Miami?
I'm sorry, but I can't provide weather forecasts. You might want to check a weather app or website for the latest updates on Miami's weather. Would you like me to proceed with logging your vacation days?
Yes, please.
All right, I've logged your vacation days from Tuesday, October 22nd to Thursday, October 24th. Enjoy your time off.
That's really impressive. And we're actually using that at Cisco internally.
We are,
Yeah.
and it's so good. Look, it's natural sounding, it's conversational. It can pivot quickly when the question directions change. And with guardrails, it's not going to share information it's not supposed to.
Yeah, as a security person, I have to jump on there. Like, remember, I talked earlier about how these AI apps, they can do things that we don't anticipate. Putting those guardrails in is so important.
It is so important. And so to help you create these AI agents, but also define the skills and those very important guardrails, we also announced the AI Agent Studio. And you can actually see it in action in the Collab Deep Dive keynote. So Tom, it's a real game changer.
Lots of innovation. Vanessa, thank you so much for sharing all that with us.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay. So just like in the data center, as we think about this evolving infrastructure, I think in the network, we have an opportunity to think about how we inject security in a way that makes it future-proof for your workplace. And one of the areas where we see a big opportunity is around zero trust access for your users. We see friction in the market. Customers have already figured out that they want to put a zero trust policy in place. And in very simple terms, what that means is salespeople can get to a sales application, IT people can get to an IT application, but you don't want salespeople in an IT application, right? So that's the principle of zero trust. It's pretty basic. Where the friction comes in is in the enterprise, you might have 500, 600, 1,000, sometimes 2,000 applications, and you've been building those applications over 10 or 20 years. And so some of the more modern applications are going to fit nicely into that least privileged framework. But older applications struggle when you put something between the user and the application. And so what this means is for many customers, they're like, cool, I want to do zero trust. They deploy a zero trust solution, but they still have to run a traditional VPN side by side. And it creates what I call the two-headed dog, right? A very suboptimal end user experience. This is what we focused on with Cisco Secure Access. So we blended together traditional VPN and modern zero trust into a single client solution that just works. And that's what's great about it. Your user experience on day one is fantastic because the company that bought you the VPN is removing the VPN. Now, we're not actually removing the VPN, but we take the VPN out of the user experience. So we call it the world's most boring demo. You type in your destination, and whether you're going to a legacy application or one of these modern apps that's sitting in the zero trust framework, it just works. The choice of protocol and termination point, that's plumbing. Cisco Secure Access, we're plumbers. We handle the connections. All the user knows is it just works. Now, coming back to that Cisco platform effect, we focus on that user experience and we measure it. So we've integrated Thousand Eyes to make sure that if the user experience isn't great, we'll tell you exactly why. Is it a problem with their laptop? Is it a problem with the Wi-Fi? Is their broadband provider have a problem? Is there a cable cut deeper in the network? Or is it Amazon having an outage? Is their data center having an outage? Only Cisco gives you that end-to-end view. And we've integrated this into our SD-WAN capabilities. So remember the use case that we talked about with Will? I want to make sure that my telephones can talk to the telephone app, the printer talks to the printer app, but you don't want those IoT things talking to your customer database. Cisco is unique in our ability to apply zero trust principles, not just to users, but to everything in your infrastructure, users and things. And this is what the industry calls Secure Access Services Edge. So this product has been in market for more than a year, very, very strong, rapid adoption. Let's hear from a customer here in region, it's LTI Mindtree, that has deployed Cisco Secure Access.
As a services company, we work with 700 other customers around the globe. And our connectivity infrastructure is very complex because it has to deal with nuances of every single customer. I'm Nachiket Deshpande. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and the board member at LTI Mindtree. Security is becoming increasingly a very important element of business resilience for all of us. We were not focused on a point solution that might be the best for a particular task or a particular activity. The end-to-end solution on zero trust is far more reliable and far more achievable than just with a point solution like Zscaler. We wanted a solution which provides us a security platform. It seamlessly integrates with everything else that we do, including our network and infrastructure, and is also continues to scale. It was not just about selecting a partner which will replace a solution with another solution, but it was also a strategic relationship with a roadmap on the product that will not only do today's job, but also fit well in our overall security program as we want to go forward.
I love that video. What's particularly interesting for me about that particular customer is they have 80,000 employees, and we had it fully deployed across 80,000 employees, displacing a competitive solution in less than 90 days. Right? So this product is ready to go. It's unique. It has unique differentiation, and it really focuses on that Cisco platform effect. So we've talked about transformation in the data center. We've talked about future-proof workplace. Digital resilience is the capability to tie all this stuff together and keep it running regardless of the situation. And that's a much harder problem to solve than it used to be a few years ago, because we're living in this distributed world. We've got managed and unmanaged devices. We've got Windows and Mac machines. We've got iOS and Android devices. We work across both owned networks and unowned networks, right? The general internet. And when something goes wrong, where do you look, right? Whose fault is it? So figuring out just where the problem is can be a really, really hard problem to solve, and data is the underpinning of all of this. So digital resilience, in my definition, it's really a data problem. So to talk more about how we can deliver digital resilience, I'd like to have my colleague Tom Casey from Splunk come and join us. Tom?
Hey there, Tom.
Hello, Tom.
It is great to be back.
Tom and Tom. Super easy to remember.
The Toms.
Yeah.
It is great to be back in Melbourne and to see so many familiar faces from the Splunk community here with us as part of One Cisco now.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you mentioned resilience as a data problem. Digital resilience is fundamentally about protecting and optimizing the experience of our users and our employees. And to do that, you have to be able to provide assurance at the network layer of a great digital experience. You have to be able to provide observability that is both broad and deep across all of the assets that you use in the environment. That is your clouds as well as your on-premise environments that you're operating in. And Tom, you have to be able to secure everything because problems show up everywhere.
Absolutely. And assurance is an area where Cisco really shines. Talk to us about what we're doing here to make this stuff work.
Absolutely. So digital experience assurance at the network layer really is grounded in Thousand Eyes, which you mentioned already, Tom. Thousand Eyes monitors the network, but it does a whole lot more. Within the network environment, Thousand Eyes understands what's happening with latency, with your error rate. It can even detect configuration changes that are occurring in the network that may be having unintended consequences on what's happening for you. And it does this, Tom, not only in Cisco networks, but as you noted, Thousand Eyes is monitoring the open public internet as well as most of the major CSPs' access to their managed services.
I want to comment on that. We have competitors that focus on assurance, but there really is no other vendor in the industry that can provide insight across stuff you own and stuff you don't. Because it's all got to work together to make one solution. This is a big point of differentiation.
And that is critical because we all know stuff happens.
Yep.
And with stuff happens, I find a lot of times people want to blame the network.
Always.
And Thousand Eyes can get you to the root cause of that in a hurry and tell you whether you should pay attention or not. And it can help you out. Because what it does is it uses AI models and it uses correlation around all of that network data and information, allowing us to pinpoint the changes that we need to make or the things we might need to roll back in the environment to get back to green and to healthy in a hurry. So this is really powerful for us when we think about what's happening from an overall perspective. And we've been doing work at Cisco to integrate Thousand Eyes natively into the variety of product portfolios.
Everywhere, including that Cisco Secure Access client that we talked about, the thing that we deployed 80,000 endpoints with one particular customer. So Thousand Eyes is built into that. So it's really not Thousand Eyes anymore, it's really Million Eyes, right?
That's great.
They're everywhere.
That's great. You do need visibility everywhere. And as I said, from an observability perspective, you have to be able to observe everything. And you noted the environment's increasingly complex. With observability, I have to be able to see my applications, both first-party and third-party applications, my services that I'm using. I need to be able to understand what's happening with the infrastructure in my environment, monitor those Kubernetes clusters, wherever they're running. I have to be able to manage traditional applications, my cloud-native applications that are evolving, and I need to be able to do that not in a cloud, but in multiple clouds as well as on-premise. And this is also a place where now, with Splunk as part of the portfolio, Cisco really shines and is significantly differentiated. Tom.
End to end.
End to end. And you mentioned already, we're able to operate in owned and unowned networks. Bringing together Cisco's understanding of the network at a depth level with Splunk's history of cross-correlating large volumes of data, we're now able to operate not only on owned and unowned networks, but be differentiated by having application performance management with AppDynamics for traditional applications, Splunk Observability Cloud, optimized for microservices applications, and we remain committed to being open and heterogeneous, to running on-premise in air-gapped environments, in your hybrid, and in your multi-cloud environments as well. And that is a big deal.
It's a very, very broad solution you're talking about.
That's right. We talk about meeting our customers where they are very often. We recognize your environments are complicated. They're not all evolving at the same place. And we think we've got a fantastic portfolio at Cisco for you in our full-stack observability story. It starts with AppDynamics, which we've now rebranded Splunk AppDynamics. It has a significant place in our go-forward plan. AppDynamics has leading capabilities around monitoring N-tier applications, and it gives us a package that runs on-premise, just like the Splunk platform does as well as in the cloud. Splunk Observability Cloud is optimized for cloud-native APM, application performance management, infrastructure monitoring in the cloud structure as well. And we've already integrated these things together along with the core Splunk platform, which is already connected in many cases to hundreds and sometimes thousands of data sources inside of your organizations. And get this, Tom. On top of all of this, we have Splunk IT Service Intelligence. That acts as sort of a monitor of monitors over all of this. And we've integrated all of these things together already in just the first few months of being part of one team so that they work in concert. I'd love to show people what I mean about this.
Let's do it.
Okay. So what you're looking at here is Splunk IT Service Intelligence. It's sort of a tree map view of this. In this scenario, I've got a retail store that has physical and online assets. But check this out. A portion of my applications, my mobile applications, well, they're new cloud microservices applications being monitored with Splunk Observability Cloud. My retail stores might be being monitored with just the Splunk platform in some cases. And my online web store and my e-commerce backend, they're being monitored with AppDynamics. I can see all of this stuff in one place, and I can tell that something's happening in the environment. Now, we're taking additional steps around digital experience assurance. Here, I'm showing the ability, this is something we're working on now for availability in February. I'm showing the ability to drill in very quickly if I wanted to, and somebody challenged me about whether there's a network issue. Thousand Eyes integration, drilling right in from ITSI, lets me look very quickly at what's happening with my overall network routes. And yeah, I've got a few things going on. I've had some latency issues here in some places, but it doesn't really explain what's happening.
It's not the network.
No, it's not the network.
Yes.
So let me go do my job and figure out what it actually is. Yeah. Looking across all of those things. Back in IT Service Intelligence, I can pretty quickly drill down either through KPIs or this map-based view and notice that I have issues with the e-commerce service in some place. Now, we've already integrated AppDynamics with ITSI, and so right here in IT Service Intelligence, I'm getting a projection or a visualization of what's happening with that particular service. It's showing me right here in the middle a chart that says I've got an increase in latency, my average response time for this particular service. That's not just data. That's a live active link. So that information now I can click and I can drill down even further. And now I'm right in AppDynamics looking at the service flow map, and I notice right here that I'm having an issue writing from my application or database wrapper to my core database backend. But where's the information about what's happening with the database? How do I root cause this? It's sitting in the Splunk platform in the event logs. Right from AppDynamics, I can deep link with a single click directly into the Splunk platform, into the log detail. And Tom, I didn't have to know how to write an SPL query in Splunk. I didn't have to know anything about refactoring the data. And as we continue to further integrate these products together, you don't have to ingest this data everywhere. It lets you consolidate tools and data, save money and time.
It's one console that answers all the questions.
That's right. Yeah. And simple, practical navigation really gets you to an answer in a hurry, and we think that's really, really important for troubleshooting.
So the telemetry that you're looking at for observability also applies for security, right?
For sure, for sure. One of the things that differentiates our approach is we believe in unified security and observability, shared data context, because you don't know when an issue originates. Is it a security problem or an observability problem, an app problem to start with? And we're going even further and taking these same concepts now and applying them to the security portfolio. So maybe we start first, as you've already mentioned XDR.
Yeah.
We talk a little bit about how we position XDR as part of one Cisco in the broader portfolio of our security assets.
Yeah, so the way I think about XDR is it's a solution that is narrow but deep. So with Cisco XDR, we're looking at telemetry that it's not always available in log data. And we're looking at it in near real time. So we think in seconds and milliseconds. And we'll look at email, web, endpoint, and network. And we can see patterns that'll say, funny looking email, took us to a strange website, spawned some new process we've never seen before. When that process goes to connect to the network, we see that in real time and we can take action. Right? Yeah. It's the data that allows us to do that. Now, that is a standalone solution that I think is very, very useful for customers, but where it gets even more powerful is we take those signals and we pass them up into Splunk.
That's exactly right. XDR standalone basis is perfectly suitable for somebody with an evolving, less sophisticated SOC. Come in and really give you fast time to value and handle a lot of things for you. But that concept of melting security into the network, of doing detections where lateral movement happens on the network, is something that then we are taking and combining with Splunk. Truly extending detections down into that network layer is critically valuable as well. So Splunk is already powering the SOC of the future for the largest organizations in the world. For those of you maybe less familiar with Splunk's security portfolio, it features Splunk Enterprise Security, which has been named by Gartner as the leading security information and event management solution in the market for more than 10 consecutive years. That is fantastic.
And you guys have been making some big bets in the security portfolio at Splunk, right?
Some huge bets. Yep. Splunk also offers SOAR, which does automated response and helps you orchestrate and create runbooks or playbooks to automate your responses to things, so you're applying your policies consistently and shortening time to resolution. And we've innovated around launching new asset and risk intelligence capabilities, which does continuous discovery and monitoring of the assets in your environment. So you can report on your compliance with your security posture. You can get safe and stay safe. And then, Tom, just like we're doing with XDR, we're doing the integration to take XDR-identified real-time events and flow those as notable events up into Splunk Enterprise Security, so you can see them in the SOC and draw attention to them. Cross-correlate with all that other great information in the SOC and Splunk and take other actions. We've also provided additional specialized detections and integrations. For example, last year we introduced Splunk Attack Analyzer, which understands how to crawl all the attack vectors associated with a complex phishing attack so that you can fully remediate those things in a hurry. You take a regional customer like Johnson Matthey, they resolve more than 61% of their phishing attacks with Attack Analyzer. With no human intervention at all. Those things happen in a hurry. And then you go further. We've already integrated Talos Threat Intelligence, one of the leading threat intelligence solutions, directly into Attack Analyzer. And by Q1, we'll have that fully integrated into Splunk Enterprise Security as well.
We're moving the security technologies in both directions. So Talos going into Splunk, that Attack Analyzer, putting that into our infrastructure, super, super interesting.
That's right. Now, one of the things that we talked about when we first got together here through the acquisition process and talking about the integration was we wanted to both be integrating and still innovating across the product lines. And I am thrilled to announce today great new breakthroughs in enterprise security from Splunk, with the addition of Splunk Enterprise Security 8.0 being generally available. Thank you. Splunk Enterprise Security 8 features an enhanced mission control experience that really organizes the work of the SOC, new findings groups that helps take associated kind of risk vectors together and categorize them for you so you understand where to really pay attention and what to take action on. And to make it easier to take action and automate, we have now integrated Splunk SOAR directly into mission control and enterprise security, It's making it easier for you to go back and find the right runbook or playbook, iterate on the changes, the edits that you want to make in those things, so that you're constantly increasing your overall security posture. We think this is a game changer.
Yeah.
It gets even better next week because select customers will be able to preview brand new AI capabilities in Enterprise Security 8 that features automated detections, noise reduction within the environment, and even a constant incident report in a right-hand pane that is getting everybody the right context they need when there is an active incident.
It's a big release for the Splunk team.
It's a huge one, and we're really excited about it.
Yeah, nice.
But integration's key.
Yes.
And we have made a ton of progress in short order, Tom.
We have. So we talked about the stuff that's already done, the Talos integration.
Yep.
You know, a topic that I think is really important and probably on the minds of customers is, as Splunk is able to ingest this huge quantities of data, how can we do that efficiently and effectively? And, you know, don't overlook the power of the basic integration of telemetry with the work that we've done together around the TAs.
That's exactly right. And so we are taking an approach around making it better to manage all this data and get richer signal from the network in a couple of dimensions. One, we've been in a process for the last couple quarters of updating what we call the technical adapters or connectors for all the Cisco devices in the environment. So Catalyst updates, Meraki, other things in the environment as well to get richer signal within Splunk.
Yeah.
The second thing we've been doing here is working in the Splunk platform layer to consolidate the way we ingest and manage data for metrics, events, logs, and traces to help you filter, route, and redact that data into federated data lakes as well, to make it more efficient, effective for you from a cost and from a performance and attention units perspective to pay attention to the right things in security and observability. And we're doing all of this in concert because what we really want to get is the highest fidelity, most valuable signal from every layer of the digital footprint into Splunk.
Let's talk about kind of where we see this going in the future. So the combination of Cisco plus Splunk, I will argue, we have a unique ability to see east-west traffic that today isn't really observed because it's just too large to capture it all.
That's right. Splunk is really good at cross-correlation of large volumes of data. We can now do things like federated analytics and search without ever leaving our enterprise security product. You can search your Amazon S3 data lake, for example. Yeah. But what we really want to do is extend down into the depth of that network layer.
Yeah.
And there are the significant investments. That Thousand Eyes integration that's coming will not just feature feeds of data, but we'll take selective alerts like we're beginning to do from XDR and send those up into Splunk. Yeah. And we'll continue to deep link between all of our products to make it easier for individuals to troubleshoot and for teams to collaborate together because they're seeing and working on shared data context.
Yeah. Cisco is unique in that we see each movement laterally in the data center. Every little connection, we see the process that initiated it and the process that terminates it. That's incredibly valuable data if you can harness it. And I believe the combination of Cisco plus Splunk, we're going to be able to do this.
I think so too. To learn more, go check out the World of Solutions Showcase. Ask your Splunk or your Cisco sales representative.
Awesome.
And there's a ton here. Let's go discover it together.
Thanks for coming.
Cheers.
So you can see the power of the Cisco security platform. When we tie together networking, security, observability, and collaboration, when we design products from the beginning to be integrated, we can solve problems in ways that I think few, if any, other vendors can. So thank you very much for listening. Look forward to further conversation. I'm going to hand the microphone back to Dave. Dave?
You know,
Thanks, buddy.
I love how you put together the power of the network. Security, observability, collaboration, just great.
Only one company in the world that can do it.
I would say I am now feeling sorry for your dog at this point in time.
He's still going.
He
hasn't rebooted.
As reference. So thank you so much, Tom. You will be known as the Jedi of whole portfolio from this point forward. Let me ask, do we have any cricket or AFL fans in the audience? How about Taylor Swift fans? I know, Taylor Swift outweighs cricket and AFL. So our next guest is absolutely going to wow you with what they are doing at Melbourne Cricket Club. He is the leader of IT and innovation for MCC. Please welcome on stage Ray Samuro. Come on stage, Ray. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks.
So, Ray, I mean, huge expectations. Clearly, a lot of cricket and AFL fans. I'm sure we have a lot of folks from India online excited about the Aussie cricket match. So tell me a little bit, if you could, about your role at MCC.
Yes, thanks, Dave. So my role is GM of IT and Innovation at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Spans all across from the network to Wi-Fi to IPTV to access control, security, cybersecurity, AV, and broadcast. So it covers everything except the players that play on the ground.
So, you know, you just hosted a couple of Taylor Swift concerts, right?
Yes, a few.
Tell me about how that digital experience was at MCC and why it was important.
It's an amazing concert. So, Dave, you know, we had 96,000 people for 3 nights coming to the stadium, and we had about 20,000 outside. Now, the expectation of people coming into the ground is connectivity. You know, they need engagement. They walked in every night for the 3 nights. On average, on the free Wi-Fi at the MCG, they consumed 45 terabytes of data every night. And let me tell you, if that didn't work, we would have heard about it.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of pressure and a lot of pain. So, you know, we just talked a lot about digital resilience as part of this. Sure. How critical is digital resilience to you, your board, and to MCC?
It's very important. It's a focus of our agenda items at board level. You know, imagine rocking up to a game and your network, there's latency in your network, or you've got a breach on security, and I just can't go to the umpires before the first ball is bowled to say, hey, can we just delay the game for 2 hours before we get our network sorted, right? So network and digital resilience is very important to us.
So it's high stakes.
It is.
It's high stakes. And when you think about everything we've talked about and what you see going on around you with AI, how does AI play into your strategy on, you know, fan experience and customer experience?
As important as anything else. With AI, we can enhance the customer experience, but also enhance our operations. Right? Currently, we rolled out AI using scanning devices. So when you walk into the MCG at the moment, we've got scanners that you walk through that has an AI platform. We can do 35,000 scans in 30 minutes. So it's seamless ingress into the stadium. Using AI to do generative AI to give us better predictability of what's going to happen. So the customer experience, we can predict when the fans are going to arrive, which gates, which outlets to open, and what do they do when they get in.
So it's absolutely critical. I mean, is this, because I know you just went from a smart stadium 1.0 to a smart stadium 2.0. What is that about?
It's right through, Dave. So we've started right from improving, upgrading our Wi-Fi to our network, going from to the SD fabric switches now, IPTV upgrades, and also increasing our building management system. So our network is so critical to all our operations that moving from Smart Stadium 1 to Smart Stadium 2 was a no-brainer for us. And what better other company to do it with than Cisco?
So, I mean, by the way, thank you so much for that. Thank you for your partnership. So at the end of the day, the network is the foundation here, and it is the most critical thing for success for you.
It is very important. You know, I keep giving an example to the board. Just imagine just before halftime, there's 90,000 people and a building management system. You know, the network is not working properly. You know, it triggers off alarms. We can't cook chips, and there's patrons lining up to get chips and pies and beers, so we cannot delay that. So everything runs on a network, from a building management to our point of sale to our security cameras.
Wonderful. Well, Ray, thank you so much for your partnership. Thank you for everything you do. I do hope that maybe I could get some tickets to the Aussie-India game that's coming up.
Hey, it's going to be a great summer of cricket. We're looking forward to India touring, and Australia versus India Boxing Day test match. You know, it's funny. I sort of get about 10,000 calls during this period, and I didn't know
There's about 100,000 people watching and tuning in right now.
I hadn't realized I had so many friends, Dave. So you know what? For day 1 and day 2, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to sell out, but I'll see what I can do for day 3.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, thank you so much. Thanks. Let's give Ray a round of applause, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Now, to close us out, I want to bring up our head of customer experience to talk about how we're working with you day in and day out and our partners to make sure that you get the best experience. Please welcome on stage Jackie G, Head of Customer Experience.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. It's great to be here. Before I talk to you about how we're going to help you maximize success with all the great technology that you've heard from the team, I want to say first, thanks for being here. It's a lot of time out of very busy days trying to keep technology working for your companies, and we really appreciate you being here. So today I'm going to talk to you about customer experience. In my role leading APJC, I can confirm in talking to many of you that these are your top priorities. And the reason is clear. The AI era is here and it is accelerating, making us rethink everything. The transformation involves AI to power data centers, to power cloud, to power networks, but also ensuring that people are augmented with AI to move faster and to move smarter. But many of you have said, you've told us, you're not ready. And I think Dave and the team shared some of those statistics earlier. You're not ready. You need help. You need to modernize your infrastructure. You need to make sure you can run AI models at scale with resiliency and with security, super important. And you need to do it fast. Now let's talk about the customer experience vision, which is all about you. You heard the team earlier talk about their incredible innovation. And seeing these new technologies come to life, it's really exciting. But customers, and I used to be one of Cisco's too, customers are only happy when they get the fullest value from the technology that they buy, and they want to see a return on their investment. Now imagine a world where every interaction with you is not only personalized, but also proactive and predictive. It's powered by AI, where we anticipate your need and maximize value from your investments. Well, that is what we want to achieve for you every single day. That's what we're striving to achieve. Now, turning this vision into reality takes more than ambition. It requires cutting-edge technology, deep insights, and exceptional experiences. Now, I can tell you, having been a customer of Cisco and Splunk and Thousand Eyes, that we are harnessing all of that, the power of the Cisco data, the Splunk data, also a customer of Splunk, and your data, to make sure that we deliver unmatched visibility and actionable insights, leading to faster resolution, because that's what we need to be prepared for. Insights and expertise also that will help you guide your adoption of the technology to make sure that you capitalize and you maximize the impact, again, of your investment. So what are some of the capabilities that we have built to support you? Let me talk about a few of these. Network policy variation analysis. Bit of a mouthful. Using AI and ML, we analyze device policies for one customer. This revealed issues across 148 devices, which saved them 200 hours of manual effort and improving network resilience. Also, AI-powered TAC, virtual engineer, also known as Sherlock. Now, Sherlock provides proactive and predictive problem resolution, handling more than 1 million cases to date, which is pretty impressive. And then the final one is proactive RMA. We're always going to have issues with parts and replacements, but imagine using analytics, which are predictive, to make sure that we know when your hardware is at risk, and we're already on it. We've raised the case. We're trying to get the part to you to make sure that you have no downtime. All of this is great advancements that we are driving at Cisco. And then finally, look, I want to announce today the integration of Cisco support into the Cisco AI Assistant. And you heard a little bit about this earlier, into one place, bringing it to you, making it easier for you. Now, not only can you manage your security operations, but now in the same product interface, you can seamlessly open a attack case. The AI Assistant will do it for you. It will bring into that case all of the information that is needed, all of your configuration, and it will give it to the engineer so that they have only one thing to focus on, and that is response, to make sure you are back up and running as fast as you can be. Now let's turn our focus to what matters to you. It's more than just delivering personalized, proactive, and predictive. It's actually about maximizing value for you. And what does that mean? What does maximizing value mean for you? Well, to me, it's pretty simple. It's achieving the business outcomes, the outcomes you expected when you actually purchased and took a step forward in the direction of Cisco products. And that's why we want to be there for you in order to make sure we can help you. So let me share a couple of examples, which I think always is great in terms of bringing it to life. What matters to you? So this is what mattered to Coles. So Coles, one of Australia's largest supermarket chains, over 18,000 stores, 120,000 employees. It's a heavily interconnected organization with IoT devices like smart price tags and shelves with sensors to monitor inventory levels. Identifying issues, if you can imagine, in this kind of environment is difficult. It's across the network, it's in the devices, it's in the applications. It takes days and sometimes weeks involving multiple teams to figure out what is actually going on. With Cisco support, Coles implemented a holistic solution with custom dashboards. They have a modern SD-WAN, Wi-Fi, security, and observability capabilities. And now they have what they call digital resilience. So when they get the phone call, they already know about the problem. And by the way, they're either already fixing it or it's fixed, which is pretty incredible. And that allows them to be proactive and predictive. I think that's what we all want. Now, the second example I have here is Woven by Toyota. They are a subsidiary of Toyota, dedicated to pioneering advanced mobility technologies, including automotive vehicles. At the core and success for them is their data center infrastructure. And as you can imagine, also making changes to their network environment takes a lot of time. It's significant time to upgrade very complex networks. Now, with the introduction of services as code, automation, they've transformed their operation, and this one is incredible. Not only network state and elements are defined as software, but they can be versioned and managed at scale, which essentially means a change that previously took them 29 hours, wait for it, is now accomplished in 1 minute. 29 hours in 1 minute. So these are two examples of where Cisco are helping our customers achieve their goals and make the art of the impossible possible. Now, today, my favorite part also, I want to recognize the customer experience heroes. Thank you for your incredible innovation. Thank you for what you're doing for your companies. You are the heroes that make everyone in this room always feel great. I want you to stand up, please. I know you're here in the front row. Let's give them a round of applause, customer heroes, for the amazing innovation that you drive for your companies. Thank you so much. And I know they're a little bit shy, but you can join us later at the CX stand today at 4:30 p.m. We're going to celebrate their stories and we're going to celebrate their success. Thank you. Thank you so much. So as we celebrate these heroes, it's important to remember it took their human touch to make these achievements a reality. We know the magic of AI is happening all around us. Our AI assistants are getting smarter. They're much better at generating content and delivering great insights. But when it comes to understanding complex human emotions, ambiguous tasks, ambitious goals, AI does have its limitations. This is where we, humans, come in, bringing our empathy, our emotional intelligence to the table. We are the superhero side to AI, and together we form a dynamic duo. When it comes to customer experience, nothing beats the magic of the human connection. Thank you all.
Jackie G, thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, so I hope you saw the power of the network with security, observability, and collaboration, all the innovations and great insights. Innovation is alive and well at Cisco, and you'll see the proof of faster innovation if you go to the world of solutions, where you can see all of the technology, all the capabilities, everything that we're doing. So thank you so much for your time today. Have a great Cisco Live and enjoy, everybody. Thank you so much.
Wow, there was so much to unpack from that keynote. You know, we'd love to hear your thoughts as well. We're on all different socials. You can use the hashtag Cisco Live APJC. Give us your thoughts. Tell us if your predictions came true. Shika, I think all of our predictions came through.
They did, and that was so much to unpack. And I loved how it was kind of segregated into three main segments: the AI-ready data center, future-proofing your workplace, and then obviously data